Yo, Ski, what's up, everybody, man? Y'all know who I be. It's your man, Pooh, CYGG. Man, I'm back with another Madden video, and in this video, I'm about to be talking about the best abilities and most OP abilities at each position. Now, first off, I want to talk about the people who've been losing their coach. Now, when you're doing the edit your superstar abilities method, you want to make sure you're in the playoffs. That means whether you're playing in the playoffs or the playoffs is going on, that you do this method so you never lose your coach. Now, with that being said, let's jump into this video. Now, we're going to talk about tight ends to start it off. Now, when you're talking about a tight end, I want to give my tight end, double me. I don't want to give him Moss settle because I don't need my tight end running 50 yards down the field to catch no pass. And also, you want to give your tight end post flag routes and stuff like that settle because most tight end run most post routes on the game. And last but not least, you want to give your tight end matchup nightmare. Now, the reason why you want to give your tight end matchup nightmare is because who is usually guarding tight ends 80 to 90% of the time? Linebackers. Now, matchup nightmare means you're going to make sharper cuts and probably you automatically catch the ball when you are guarded against what? A linebacker. So it only makes sense to equip these abilities at your tight end slot because, hey man, your tight end is going to dominate the competition. He's not going to be able to be stopped. He's going to be like Travis Kelce mixed with Gronkowski mixed with every tight end in history, basically. Now we're going to go on to the person who has to throw the tight end the ball, which is your quarterback. Now, this is the perfect passing, scrambling quarterback. Now, you want to give your quarterback the X factor of Omaha because you can see what zones they're in once you enter your zone. And then you want to give them inside dead eye, pocket dead eye, clutch, fast break, and escape artist, which means, not only can you throw accurate passes inside the pocket, but when you're outside the pocket, you're just as deadly because you can escape pressure. And also, if you want to run the read option, you're unstoppable. It's almost like you're Lamar Jackson mixed with Peyton Manning. Like, bro, like you can't tell me that's not a deadly combination. Come on now. Lamar Jackson mixed with Peyton Manning. Come on now, bro. You know the deal. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the perfect passing quarterback, which is you want to have fearless as your X factor. Fearless means no matter what type of pressure come at you, you're going to throw accurate passes. Next, you want to have inside dead eye. After that, you want to have roaming dead eye. Settle because roaming dead eye means when you're not in the pocket and you're standing outside the pocket, you're still accurate. Now, let's just say you're running outside the pocket. That's when you want to equip stuff like dashing dead eye. And then you want to go with safety valve. Settle because safety valve improves the catching of your running back. Now, with that being said, safety valve can go either way. Now, in this case, I would think to myself, maybe I can replace safety valve with, let me guess, I'm going to say protected. I would take safety valve off and I would put protected in that slot. And since you have protected, the thing that pairs so well with protected, instead of having roaming dead eye, which requires you being out the pocket, since your linemen are protecting you more because you have protected, it would only make sense to go with something like, pocket dead eye because they're going to be protecting you more while you're in the pocket. Now, having all these dead eye abilities on your quarterback will make your quarterback deadly accurate. Now, on to the running backs. Now, running backs, I like to mix and match my abilities, or like the cat be saying on me, mismatch. But if I have the wrecking ball ability, then what I'm gonna go with is jukebox and human joystick, which is my superstar abilities. So if I'm already gonna have a running back that's gonna be very powerful, why not give him the abilities that allow him to be elusive? Because once he gets those abilities of wrecking ball, once he enters that zone, then that means he's gonna have the ability to use armbar, bulldozer. So I got armbar, bulldozer, and jukebox and human joystick. Basically, this guy's unstoppable. This is why I showed this running back first. Now, let's just say, for instance, you want to use first one free. Okay, you want to use first one free. Now, in this case, I would try to use a power ability underneath that, which is armbar. And then I'll go with leapfrog, settle because leapfrog is just an OP ability. So if my running back got that, or I would do inside guru or something like that that allows him to have someone who blocks better. That way he not also, like, he has some type of power ability to complement those elusive abilities. Now, if you're going against a team full of enforcers and hard hitters, that's when I would, go to protective custody and a tank ability settle because protective custody means you will never fumble. And the tank ability basically mean that, yo, if you try to hit stick me, I'm breaking I'm breaking your tackle and I'm going for yards after contact. Now, before I get into talking about the receiver, one thing that I want to make known to you guys is just because you see me putting X factors on all these players don't mean that you are going to be able to have more than 3 active X factors on offense or defense. Now, Madden did that to balance the game out. You're not going to have 5 X factors on offense and 5 X factors on defense. Then your team becomes super OP. So only 3 X factors can be active on the side of on each side of the ball. Excuse me, because I kind of got tongue tied. But yes, but with that being said, man, if I'm making me a wide receiver, I'm going to go with the most ability simply because that's the most sought after ability with a wide receiver. And also, I'm going to go with route technician. Now, the reason why I go with route technician is the second most important thing your receiver must do. It's run routes. We already know the number one thing you got to do is be able to catch if he's a receiver. Now, the second thing you got to be able to do is get open so he can catch the ball. And route technician allows for that. Now, route technician basically means if he's doing any slants, any route that allows a cut in it, he's going to break off. And wide receiver apprentice means you can allow him to get any type of cut, routes. Like you can give him additional routes. Now, let's just say you don't want to go for the most ability with that receiver. Let's just say you want to do double me because you don't want to keep doing 50-yard bombs and putting your quarterback under pressure. Then that's when I go with route technician, double me as an X factor, and as your other superstar ability, I would do grab and go. Now, the reason why I would do grab and go as the other ability is because as soon as he catches the ball, he's moving. He's out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I would like that. And also the reason why I say double me is because you don't have to run 50 yards for double me to activate. It just activates whenever it activates. You don't have to, send your wide receiver on a deep route for it to activate. So that's why I prefer double me a little bit more than Monster, even though the Monster ability is also OP. Now, when you're talking about catching the ball, we got to talk about the people who got to cover the people who are catching the ball. Now, this goes to your cornerbacks, man. Now, for my cornerbacks, I like to use the shutdown X factor, and I like to use the Jalen Ramsey abilities, which is acrobat and universal coverage. Universal coverage basically means you get improved coverage at man and zone. Now, I understand a lot of people want to choose man up because man up means you lock somebody down when you're in man up, but why just choose man up when I can get both out of universal coverage? Now, this would be the same thing I would use on my free safety. Now, the reason why I would use these same abilities on my free safety with the Zone Hawk X Factor is simply because the free safety, he's more of the cover guy, whereas the strong safety plays in the box more than the free safety does. The free safety is always going to be the cover guy. Now, in this case, like I said, the same thing. I would do universal coverage and I would do acrobat. Let's just say you want to send a man blitz. If you're sending a man blitz, then your safety is going to have to cover somebody. So if he covers somebody, he's going to shut him down now because he has acrobat and universal coverage. And even if he don't shut him down, he's going to bat the ball down because he has acrobat. This is why I would use, if it's just superstar abilities, I would use these two, which is universal coverage and acrobat for my free safety. Now let's get on to the other safety, which is the strong safety. I would give him reinforcement and I would give him out of my way as a superstar ability and enforcer as the other superstar ability. Now, the reason why I would give him out of my way is because who is more likely to block the strong safety? Tight ends, fullbacks, wide receivers. Out of my way means anytime a wide receiver, a tight end, or a fullback tries to block this guy, he's going to automatically block shed them out the way. Now, if he gets to him, I'm going to want him to enforce some damage, be an enforcer. Like, hey, knock him out. So of course I'm going to give him enforcer, or if that player has stuff like, the tank ability, I'll give him lumberjack. Now this leads to the other player who plays just like a safety, which would be the linebacker, because he plays in the box more. Now in this case, it depends. If you have a right outside linebacker or a left outside linebacker, then who plays in a 4-3 system, I would go for reinforcement. But if it's a middle linebacker, then I would do him like Luke Kuechly. I would give him the shutdown ability so that way he can become more versatile. The whole point of making this archetype like this, or this player like this, is to be able to have a player that can do two things, which is tackle inflict damage, and also be able to cover once he enters the zone. And not only will he be able to cover once he enters the zone, he'll be able to take away your best player. Like if I put him on a tight end and that tight end has matchup nightmare, he's no longer a nightmare for this linebacker because, hey, this linebacker can shut him down. He got the shutdown ability. He can hang with him now. But with that being said, man, when you're not worried about a tight end or a running back coming at your linebackers, you got to worry about who has to get the ball to him, which is the quarterback. And this is where your edge rusher come in, whether it's a left end, right end, or outside rusher, outside linebacker, any one of those edge guys. Now, I will put unstoppable force or fearmonger, and I will put no outsiders, and I will put pass rush elite. Now, the reason why I give all these abilities to my lineman or my edge rusher is because he's on the edge. So if you try to run the ball outside, he can stop the run that's going to go outside. And also, when you pass the ball, he's a pass rush elite. He can get to the quarterback. So he can do two things. He can stop the run and he can get to the quarterback, bro. Like, that's exactly what makes this player OP. But when the running back can't get to the outside, we got to focus on the guy he's going to have to deal with when he runs the ball inside. And that would be my defensive tackle. Now, my defensive tackle, I don't need him to be Aaron Donald-esque. I just need him to be like Snacks Harrison and Brandon Williams, which is why I give him inside stuff and run stopper. So if you can't get to the edge because my edge rusher has no outsiders, then you're not going to do nothing inside because my defensive tackle is a run stopper and a run stuffer. So you're not running the ball. Now, if you want to make him Aaron Donald-esque, you can give him fearmonger and pass rush elite with inside stuff. So that basically means he can do two things at once. He can stop the run and he can rush the passer. But I like to lead a pass rushing for my, edge rushers. And enforcer works good on the defensive tackle because once they block shed, they can knock the hell out of a running back, bro. Like, they will literally knock him out. Like, Quentin Williams forced a lot of fumbles for me with enforcer. But since we're talking about the guys who, stop the run, let's talk about the guys who are going to have to protect the run from guys like Quentin Williams, man. Let's talk about the left guards and the centers, man. In this case, if you are making these players because you can't go and adjust your lineman abilities, so what you want to do is put up power so you can unlock these abilities. Now, if you upgrade power all the way, you're going to get an ability called Nasty Streak. Nasty Streak is basically an ability that counters out of my way. So if they're going against a linebacker, or if they see a safety or any of those positions try to come and tackle your linebacker and they have to meet up with them, they're going to pancake them. They're going to get them out of their way. So out of my way don't work against Nasty Streak. And also post up works against, let's just say if Khalil Mack or edge rusher has like their X factor and they're getting to your quarterback. If you assign a double team block to that guy and he has this superstar ability, they're basically going to take him out of the play. So that's where this comes in. And hey, man, and let's just say if you're not worried about the inside, let's just say you're worried about the edge rusher. That's when you get your left tackles and right tackles involved. Now, you got to protect that blind side. Now, once again, you got to make sure you have your pass protector all the way up because you can't pick these abilities for linemen, and linemen don't have X factors. So edge protector is an ability that you're going to get. Once again, you see the pass protector archetype is all the way up. But once you get that edge protector all the way up, bruh, that means anybody who has pass rush elite, fearmonger, any of that type of stuff that tries to rush you from the edge, he takes them completely out of the play. So he protects your blind side. So I want you guys to do me a favor, man, because that's the last person I did. I didn't do the kickers or the punters. I want you guys to go down to the comments below and tell me what's your best combination for each position and what worked for you, so we can all see if these players also works in our favors, man. Those are my the best abilities to have at each position. If you feel differently, put it down in the comments below. But until next time, it's your man Pooh, CYGG, and I'm out.